To create an Outlook event from a SharePoint list item, start by opening Power Automate. Click Create and choose Automated Cloud Flow. Give your flow a name. Then search for and select the SharePoint trigger when an item is created or modified. Finally, click Create to begin building your flow. Next, click into the trigger and select the SharePoint site where your list is stored. Then, choose the list you want to use for this flow. Before continuing, make sure your SharePoint list is set up with the following columns. A single line of text column called Title. This will store the Outlook event subject. 2 date-time columns, start date time and end date time. A multiple lines of text column called Event Description. This will populate the body of the Outlook event. A single line of text column called Event Identifier. This will store the Outlook event ID. A hyperlink column called Calendar Event Link. This will store the URL to the Outlook event. A person column called Recipients, with multiple selections enabled. This will store the recipients of the Outlook event. And finally, a choice column called Status, with the following options: scheduled, pending, update, and canceled. One important note: set the default value of the status column to scheduled. This is what will trigger the creation of a new Outlook event whenever a new item is added to the list. Next, we'll set up a method to handle scenarios where either no recipients are added to the SharePoint list item or where multiple recipients are included. Start by clicking Add an Action. Then search for and select Initialize Variable. Rename the action. Set the variable name to Attendee Emails and set the type to Array. Leave the value field empty for now. Now, click Add an Action again and search for Apply to each. Rename the action. In the Select Output from Previous Step field, click Expression and paste in the following formula. Note: you can download all the formulas used in this tutorial by clicking the link in the description below and filling out the form. Inside the Apply to Each action, add another action and search for Append to Array variable. Choose the Attendee Emails variable. Then in the Value field, open Dynamic Content and select the Recipient Email attribute from the trigger when an item is created or modified. Finally, save your flow to make sure these steps have been configured correctly. Next, click Add an Action and search for Compose. Select it, rename the action, and then click into the Input field. From there, click on Insert Expression and paste in the following formula. This formula checks whether the Attendee Emails array is empty. If it is, it returns a blank value. If not, it joins all of the email addresses into a single string separated by semicolons. Next, click Add an Action and search for Switch Control. Inside the Switch Control, click into the On Input field, select Insert Dynamic Content, then search for and select the status value attribute from the SharePoint trigger when an item is created or modified. Now, we'll add 3 case blocks to handle different scenarios. Click the plus icon 3 times to create them. For the first case block, rename it as outlined. Then in the Equals field, type the word Scheduled. For the second case block, rename it. And in the Equals field, type the word Update. For the third case block, rename it. And in the Equals field, type the word Canceled. It is important to note that the values you enter here must match the values from the status column in your SharePoint list exactly. Next, we are going to build out the Create Event case block. Inside this case block, click Add an Action and search for and select the Outlook Create Event action. Then click into the Calendar field and select the specific calendar you would like to create events for. You can use the suggested options or click Enter Custom Value and add an Outlook Calendar ID. To use your own calendar, select the Value Calendar. In the next steps, we will map the SharePoint list columns to the corresponding fields in the Outlook event. First, click into the Subject field, click Insert Dynamic Content, and select the Title field. Second, click into the Start Time field, click Insert Expression, and enter the provided formula. This formula converts the start date time value from the SharePoint trigger, which is stored in UTC, into Eastern Standard Time and formats it in a way that is accepted by Outlook events. You will need to adjust the formula to reference the exact name of your SharePoint list start date time column in the desired time zone setting. Next, click into the End Time field, click Insert Expression, and enter the corresponding formula. This formula is the same as the previous one, except it references the End Date Time field from the list. Then click into the Time Zone field and select the desired time zone. This should match the time zone set on the site that hosts your SharePoint list. Next, click Show All under Advanced Parameters. In the Required Attendees field, click Insert Dynamic Content and select the output value from Compose Required Attendees. Then click into the Event Description field, click Insert Dynamic Content, and select the Event Description column from the SharePoint trigger. Next, remove the Categories field. Then click into the Is All Day Event field and set it to No. Finally, click Save to save your flow. Next, click Add an action inside the Create Case Switch block and search for the SharePoint Update Item action. Then, select the SharePoint site and list. Click into the ID field, choose Insert Dynamic Content, and select the ID attribute from the When an item is created or modified trigger. Set the status field to Pending. Expand the options by clicking Show All, then click into the Event Identifier field, select Insert Dynamic Content, and choose the ID attribute from the Create Event action. In the Calendar Event Link field, repeat the process, but this time select the Web Link attribute. Then save your flow. Now, let's test it to make sure everything is working correctly. To test the flow, click on Test Flow, select Manual, and then click Test Flow again. I've already completed the new item form in my SharePoint list and populated all of the required fields. Remember that the status field in the list should default to Scheduled, which is the value that triggers the Create Event Case block in the flow. You can see that the flow executed successfully. The event was created in the Outlook calendar, and all of the details were passed from the list item to the event. You can also see that the list item was updated with the status set to Pending, and that the event ID and URL were added as well. Next, we're going to build out the Update Event Case block. Inside this block, search for and select the Outlook Update Event action. Then, in the Calendar ID field, select the calendar you want to use. In the ID field, click Insert Dynamic Content, then search for and select the Event Identifier field from the SharePoint, when an item is created or modified trigger. Next, map all of the same fields from the SharePoint trigger to the corresponding Outlook event fields, just as you did in the Create Event step. I'll go ahead and do that now. Once that's complete, save the flow to make sure there are no errors. Now, add an action inside the Update case block and search for the SharePoint Update Item action. Select the SharePoint site and list. In the ID field, insert dynamic content and select the ID from the When an item is created or modified trigger. In the Status Value field, set the value to pending. In the Event Identifier field, insert dynamic content and select the ID from the Update Event action. Do the same for the Calendar Event Link field. Finally, save the flow. Next, we'll test the flow. I'll update the SharePoint list item that created this calendar event called Quarterly Town Hall. I'll change the start date and end date. And also update the event title. Remember, in order to trigger updates, the status field must be set to Update. As you can see, the flow executed successfully, and the event was updated to reflect the changes made in the list item. Next, we'll build out the Canceled case block. Click into the Canceled case block and select Add an action. Search for and choose the Outlook Delete Event action. In the Calendar ID field, select the calendar you want the event removed from. In the ID field, click Insert Dynamic Content and select the event identifier from the When an item is created or modified trigger. Finally, save the flow to confirm everything is working properly. Next, we'll test the Canceled case block. I've opened a SharePoint list item that was used to create a calendar event. Now I'll update the status field to Canceled and click Save. You can see that the flow ran successfully and the Outlook event was removed from my calendar. For extra confirmation, you can also see the cancellation email that was sent for the event. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more Microsoft 365 tips and tutorials. And while you're here, check out one of these other videos on the screen. I think you'll find them just as useful.